So, hello, I'm Jen Tennican, and I have a business, Gen 10 Productions, and we are an independent film production company that focuses on documenting our community's stories. I use the royal R and the royal we. It's basically just me and some other random people occasionally, but there you go. I'm a one-woman show. You're welcome.
Jen, I love how creative you are. I love, you know what?
Oh,
I have
stop. I mean, go on.
to go on.
Yes. Mm.
What's been happening with you during COVID, and how have you stayed inspired and stayed creative and keep pushing on?
All right. So, do you want us to respond to your little prompt about when life gives you lemons? I have two. I had two responses.
Okay,
Are
yes,
you ready
I
for
love
these?
that.
Okay. Okay. When life gives you lemons, you pucker up and you take it like a woman. Okay, that's one. That was kind of aggressive, and I was on the fence about using pucker.
Uh-oh, yeah, that
And
could.
then the other one is when life gives you lemons, you make limoncello. Aha.
Ah,
Vodka and lemon peels. But then I thought, am I promoting alcoholism? That seems complicated as well in a community like Jackson that has its issues with alcohol, like we all do. But anyway, those are my two. You can edit those out, I'm sure.
no, no, I'm not. I'm not in
But
anything you say out.
the way I've stayed inspired, well, I mean, speaking of lemons into lemonade, we were doing my current film project. We were doing a lot of outreach and engagement with it, doing live screenings. And since the pandemic, we've switched to virtual events, and it's been great in a lot of ways. The film itself, which follows the first 15 months of vertical harvest operation, deals with sustainability on a lot of different levels: economic, social, um, you know resources, conservation, food. So I think being able to connect virtually and have a smaller environmental footprint around our screenings has been a great way to walk the walk. My company is 1% for the Tetons, 1% for the Planet company, so it felt like a good thing to do. I also think we can reach more people. Technology also helps people with and without disabilities, which the film encompasses all people, but does focus on disability inclusion and employment. And I think that's a great way to remind people that accessibility through technology, if people do have access to technology, can be a great way to augment the impact and reach of art and film. So that's been a bit of a voyage of discovery, and it's been working out really well. We've I think got 4 or 5 virtual events coming up with major universities. So University of Georgia, University of Delaware, University of Nebraska, some other universities.
Well, where can people find that information?
um, so those are all, I mean, what we're doing right now is it's called educational distribution, but it can be for any group or organization that wants to use the film for educational purposes. So it could be a for-profit, a nonprofit, a government agency, an academic institution, but we have a tab on our website for virtual events, and it explains how to organize a virtual event and how to reach out to us to do that, and we're happy to help, and we have a lot of resources. So people should visit the heartsofglassfilm.com website and click on virtual events.
Well, that I really admire that because you were traveling a lot.
Yeah, it was
Right.
fun. I mean, it's great to have face-to-face interactions, but it does have its drawbacks,
Right. And
like getting sick and dying. No, I'm just
yeah, that has its drawbacks. That's right.
kidding.
Uh,
Flying on germ tubes. Yeah.
yeah, yeah, germ tubes. I haven't
Mhm,
heard that one yet.
mhm, mhm.
I need to call you more often and get just a list of new vocabulary.
A list of new vocabulary. I'm here for you. I just make up words too. That was something my mother and I did together. So
So I think I think that's what I've really loved about talking about when life gives you lemons, because it's been really inspiring to me to learn how people have dealt with COVID-19 and how it's brought people together, and how in and of itself it's not a good thing, but what people do with it and how they make it their life better.
yeah, I mean, I think that's great. I think it's also particularly important to remember that, at least in someone like me who you're talking to, I don't have an immediate concern about where my next meal is coming from. I don't work in a service industry where I don't have a choice about going to work or not, and whether my coworkers or the people who are coming in and out will be taking appropriate safety precautions. So, I think with the time we're in right now, where people are hopefully becoming more and more aware of disparities around socioeconomic, racial, all of those potential injustice areas, or systemic racism and things around social class, that I think it's important to acknowledge where we are as individuals and things that we might not have to deal with. So yeah, I'm trying to be particularly conscious of that, and yeah, that's about
Well,
it.
you're doing great things, and thank you so much for talking to me today.
You're welcome.